Hello. Welcome. My name is Tristan, and this is our Little King of the Hill show. As I've mentioned before, and if you've been paying attention to our prior episodes, to me, the main theme of King of the Hill is about a father who, despite his instincts,
6 a.m. and already the boy ain't right.
is trying desperately to connect with the son whom he loves. And as we've found so far in the Hill home, that generational patriarchal trauma will really fuck that plan up. Even if you are handed a situation on a silver platter, an opportunity to show love so simply, so easily, it's like God is giving you a gimme. That personal demon will destroy anything and everything. So far, we've seen Hank respect this toxicity on accident. We've seen Hank excuse and then confront this toxicity. And in today's episode, we're gonna see the reverberations of this toxicity, the fallout from this negativity that Hank has experienced his entire life. And it's gonna come in ways that Hank did not plan for. A big part of being an adult, I've found, is simply taking responsibility for yourself and who you are. Somebody out there may have fucked you up. But at a certain point, responsibility slides solely to you. And if you cannot come to terms with those two facts, that it's not necessarily your fault, but it is your responsibility, then any love or community that you are trying to cultivate in your life will be destroyed. Simple as that. Because cycles like these repeat, and they repeat silently. It can be a really, really frightening and scary mirror to stare into, because you have to stare into it alone. You have to reflect into it alone. So, for this week's lesson on Rainey Street, let's see how long Hank can avoid eye contact. Today's lesson comes from Season 2, Episode 1, How to Fire a Rifle Without Really Trying. The lesson? Avoiding your trauma ends up hurting the ones you love. Well, the Texas State Fair's in town, darn it. The Hill boys are looking for some much-needed father-son time.
Howdy, partners.
While screwing around at the carnival, Hank spies something that he and Bobby have in common. Shooting. And it looks like Bobby's a natural.
Now this time you might want to... Bobby, way to kill ducks.
Hank's excitement is pretty dad cute. You can tell he's been waiting years to have something in common with his son.
Can I put a gun rack on my bike?
Do you know how long I've been waiting for you to ask me that?
His family fantasies are coming true right before his eyes to fulfill these wonderful Hill traditions. But of course, as we know and have already seen, there are no really good hill traditions are there?
Hank, you won the big game. So, I'm buying you and your friends hookers. Now go on, boy, pick yourself out of that one. And you boys get out there and bag some stuff. Well, let's go get a tree, boy.
As he's wont to do, and as we're going to keep finding out during this series, Exploring King of the Hill, the social commentary is spot on. Of course, this one takes on gun nut culture.
Where's the children's gun section?
Aisle 47.
And not to be cheesy, but they got him dead to rights.
I have a good feeling about this one.
Ooh, I love this rifle.
It's a bullseye on the commentary. Even though the jokes are crazy, somehow they've gotten even timelier and more accurate.
It's laughable to everyone here. The idea that we'd ever expose a 13-year-old to the dangers of a lottery ticket. But then we arrive here at the gun show.
It should shoot pretty good for you.
I'll take it.
Within minutes, the 13-year-old easily and legally bought a .22 caliber rifle from a private seller and walked away with it.
Which is not a compliment. Let's be honest. Hank's pride is so infectious. And he's so proud of Bobby that he signs them up for the Arlen father-son shooting competition.
You fellas entering the tournament at the county club? Because if you are, maybe I'll save myself the entry fee.
What tournament?
Father-son fun shoot. It's sponsored by the Arlen Endowment for the Arts.
But out of this fatherly act of love and connection that both of them have finally earned, we get a little insight into Hank's psyche and the parental trauma he's still dealing with.
Make some noise! You're never gonna be a war hero like me if you shoot like that.
And a surprising PTSD attack from all the years of his father being a menace to him.
I want my binky back.
You want your binky back? You gotta come in firing!
He can't shoot. So Hank is now stuck between an emotional rock and a hard place. He's been deeply triggered by this. And he's not a very emotional man. I know we've covered that before, but it bears repeating.
You're my son. Well, you know, with everything that entails,
He struggles.
Feelings of fondness and more, you know what I mean, don't you, boy?
So what does he do? He immediately gaslights Bobby and the entire idea of a tournament.
Look, Bobby, before we start buying a lot of paraphernalia and accessories and whatnot, let's make sure we're not getting into another tap lesson situation here.
Now this tug of war between Bobby continuing to want to do this tournament with his dad and Hank trying to come up with more ways to gaslight him, and they go to a wonderful gun safety course, which supplies one of my favorite one-off characters in the entire history of the show, the one-eyed, one-thumbed safety instructor.
When I was your age, I used to get so excited about hitting the target, I'd run right out onto the range. That's how I lost this thumb, and later, this eye.
And of course, the gaslighting continues. You know, we all know that this is a defense mechanism, a coping mechanism to avoid doing the hard work.
I'm too busy for a competition. We're coming up on the new propane season, plus next week I was going to check into buying Heck Dorland's motorcycle.
This strategy, the it'll go away strategy, will always come back to bite you in the ass. because it's not going to go away. You can't ignore this kind of stuff. Wallace Shawn. Is a fantastic guest star for this episode as Hank's unofficial sports therapist.
Maybe I can help you. I'm a sports psychologist. I worked with the Cowboys.
When?
Last season.
Goodbye.
And his performance is great. He's charming, and he's unabashedly sleazy, too.
Inconceivable.
It's kind of a ambulance chaser therapist. He just kind of hangs out where the biggest losers are.
In the afternoons, I go to the bowling alley. Losers are very predictable. Here's my card. You're going to tear it up.
He's quite good. And how could I avoid this? It's one of the most iconic lines in the entire show. Arguably the most famous Dale line of all time, but I'll just let Dale take it away.
Guns don't kill people, the government does.
So as the days roll on and the tournament gets closer and closer, Hank begins to lash out so badly that Bobby, like any kid kind of being projected upon, begins to blame himself for his father's kind of shocking and weird and angry behavior.
Bobby, honey, you've been sleeping in that vest for 2 weeks. What's wrong?
I think I messed up. I made Dad not like guns anymore.
Which is an incredibly accurate portrayal of what avoidance behavior can do and how it can affect those around us. When you can't confront these things, our loved ones feel that.
What has got into you?
Hank comes clean to Peggy, tells her everything. It's a huge first step.
Peggy, I can't shoot.
What?
I can't. My aim is terrible. I can barely keep the gun steady.
Now, they're incredibly and maybe too white about it.
I still love you.
Yeah, but will the rest of the town be so forgiving?
But their hearts are in the right place, and you love to see it. I love that this show uses the father-son dynamic and relationship to explore the inner child relationship. To me, it's a parallel that they explore. How to heal that inner child through the relationships you make and have. In this regard, Hank can finally see, he can look it right in the eyes, that pain on his own child's face that he felt as a child. And it forces the mirror to come out. He can't avoid it anymore. He can't stuff these emotions down anymore because he's already passed them on to Bobby. And so the moment he shows up for Bobby and says, yes, I will do this. Yes, I will put you first, is the moment that that little child in the mirror begins to heal too.
Go get your clothes out of the trash. We'll need them for the contest.
You mean it, Dad? You'll shoot with me?
So with the mirror out, you kind of have to come to terms with the fact that you've been avoiding the mirror the whole time. It's been there, you just didn't look, you didn't see. Now, Hank's whole survival structure, how he got through without looking in the mirror, is coming back to bite him in the ass. Cotton's nagging, win, no losers mentality has been passed to Hank. And that's what Hank has been leaning on. It's what he's preached to Bobby his whole life. And now, Bobby's expectations are sky high.
That's loser talk. You taught me that. No hill's ever been a loser. We fought for Texas at the Alamo. We're gonna get a trophy.
Oh.
So Hank takes another step, and through gritted, Fox News-coated teeth, he agrees to therapy, even with the worst therapist in the world.
As you imagine the plane, say out loud, "To the end of the rainbow."
I'm not saying...
Say whatever you want.
And he finds a groove.
Woo!
It seems like he's learning to let go of his trauma. Until the devil himself shows up.
Sorry I'm late. I had to stop by the Wax Museum again and give the finger to FDR.
And the father-son tournament is such a hilarious Red State, Bud Light, man cave, bikini poster send-up that is just brilliant.
Then the quick draw, followed by the pretend to be sleeping, grab the loaded gun under the bed and shoot a figure in the shadows.
And of course, since the devil has shown himself, Cotton makes his presence known by absolutely shaking Hank to his core immediately.
Accuracy? Better hope that target's the side of a barn.
I do find it funny how much Cotton adores Bobby and actively hates his own son.
I'm always here to support my Bobby, and I'll give you a shoulder to cry on. You'll need one, won't he, Hank?
It's a close tournament. And Hank is really showing up. And he's actively fighting his own trauma. And on his final shot, he gets in his own head and he misses.
Let's do it.
Miss.
They lose the tournament. They come in second. And Hank's childhood trauma comes flooding back. When he was a boy, he's disappointing Cotton. Now that he's a father, he's disappointing Bobby. But Bobby really proves what our lesson is all about, because he is overjoyed.
This is the best day ever. You're the best dad ever.
They've come in second, and he couldn't be prouder. All he wants to do is do it again next year and make more memories with his dad.
Yeah, we can do it again.
They technically lose, but Hank wins because he's just made a core memory with his son that isn't devastating or traumatic. It's beautiful and connective. Hank, by accident, has given Bobby exactly what Bobby needs. And in confronting his own trauma, he's given himself a little special something too. It's another necessary and beautiful father-son lesson. Being together is more important than fulfilling one another's expectations, winning, or being the best. It's so beautiful, man. They just walk off into the sunset. Kinda.
We forgot Mom.
Oh, well, let's go get her.
We've dug deep into Hank's fatherhood trauma and his fractured and broken relationship with Cotton. And trust me, we will talk more about that. But there's way more lessons to be learned in Arlen, and I'm excited to get to those too. Thanks again so much for watching, and you can get off your phone now. Go ahead. Go enjoy life. Get off your phone. Go! Get out of here.